What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Anthony Joshua. His reaction after the Swartz KO by Tyson Fury. He said, Tyson Fury did what he needed to do. He said, I could talk shit, but I'm not, and basically, that's what he was supposed to do. Those were the words of Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua doesn't really say a lot as far as other people's critiquing or whatnot. He would rather show his admiration for a fighter versus a critiquing. And I think it was some critiquing on this because he said, I could talk shit, but I'm not going to, right? Now, if Anthony Joshua was to say something like that, you can read into the point where it was something else he could have said, but he just chose not to. So there was things that he saw that he didn't like from Fury. Maybe the opposition, maybe what Fury was doing, maybe how the fight went, because again, Fury fought a guy that was without a name, without an identity. Nobody knew who the fuck he was. So, those are maybe the things that Joshua probably wanted to say, but he chose not to. And a lot of times, Joshua watches what he says because he knows he's still an ambassador for so many different things. You know what I mean? All the sponsorships, endorsements. Now, he will speak his mind at times, but as far as, him, going and saying a lot about a fighter, he don't really do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of times you don't really have to if you're already the fighter that people are talking about, because everyone and their mom's talking about Anthony Joshua and what they think happened and what happened. And he's just like, hey, I took it like a man, as long as I stood my ground and I'm secure with myself. I'm not really worried about it. He doesn't look worried. He's playing ping pong and shit, hanging out, chilling with his boys, But back to the critiquing that he didn't do, I'm pretty sure, when he's probably like, fucking bad built ass Fury, probably, fought a dude nobody ever heard of. If I would have done that shit in the US, people would have looked at me shitty, and then honestly, that's where very well what he could have done. He could have fought someone that no one ever heard of. And you know what would have happened? Everybody would have fucking crucified him for it. You know what I mean? Ruiz was a known person that just got out of a fight. He just had a shitty ass build, but it wasn't his record or anything, his reputation, because, he had a great amateur career on top of a very good professional career with only one loss. So, now they have matching losses. So shit, you know what I mean? He wasn't a guy that wasn't heard of. He fought a guy to a close bout, which was Joseph Parker, that Joshua already beat. So, that wasn't the case. But Fury, he comes in, and, doing the marinating process. It was for the build-up, guys. I understand why they did it. But then they just picked someone that was supposed to be in the top 10 that wasn't. So, that kind of goes back to what Dillian White was saying. So basically, where Anthony Joshua will hold his tongue, Dillian White won't. Because, I'm pretty sure that Anthony Joshua, when that damn camera cut off, he was like, this motherfucker fought this nobody, beat the shit out of him, and everybody thinks he's a perfect fighter. You know what I mean? But, it does warp your perception. If you're not careful, you can fall for the shit. Now, was it entertaining? Yes. Was there a knockout? Yes. Was there a knockdown? Yes. But if you're not careful, you can easily forget that Fury fought a guy that no one ever fucking heard of. And then, you know what I mean? And you don't really want to keep bringing that up because then you sound like a Fury hater. But then, I guess it's just the way, the tone you say it, because a lot of people like, oh man, you hating on Fury. But yeah, it looked good. But the whole thing is, like Anthony Joshua said, this shit's supposed to look good. He did what he's supposed to do, So, congrats to him or whatever, you know what I mean? but it wasn't really nothing to talk about. He said, I could talk shit, but he refused not to. So there was a lot of the shit that he was holding back. So, you know, but it was a good performance, you know, and Joshua, you know, of course, it's not in his style to really say a lot about people, you know, but the reason why I did say that he will say certain things with his peeps, in his people, in a surrounding warm area of folks, because I remember when Deontay Wilder finally fought his mandatory with Dominic Breazeale, you know, and he went off. It was like a second, you know, it was cut off. That video was cut off. If you would have listened to the rest of that video, he probably would have said a gang of shit about a lot of other people. We just didn't hear it. You see what I'm saying? That's why I said that, you know, because it was one of them situations where, you know, he was like, Breazeale? You remember that? He's fighting my leftovers. He said he's going to knock me out in 2 rounds, and that's who he's going to fight, Breazeale? You know, he was just chilling in the gym. So yeah, but that video was cut short. It wasn't like he was, you know, he just ran in and it was over. No, they cut that short for a reason, I feel. You know, so yeah. So yeah, Joshua, he's not going to say everything on camera. You know what I mean? And a lot of people think that he should, but then, you know, that's one of the reasons why people love him. But then there's another reason why people don't. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about Anthony Joshua's subtle reaction. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been counterpunching. Peace.